Hi and welcome to part 9. In this part we're going to work on the main theme. I'm aware that we do have a tech drop, but I do like to use some sort of themed melody in the breakdown to make it more melodic. I have a big square type of sound in mind, and there are some in my Anna 2 sound bank. Let's check that out. Let's call this main square. And a nice blue color. And we're working in F sharp. Sounds nice, but I want a little bit more energy, so let's add some notes between the bass notes. Let's shorten each note a bit so it's more snappy. Nice, so let's extend and keep building. Sometimes I try this move where I push the lower melodic part up one octave. Now this sounds pretty cool. It's not too fluffy, not too dark, but a nice middle ground. First, let's bypass the delay and reverb and then gain stage. That's roughly -15. Now let's start the processing. For leads, I like to start with OTT, which is a great free plugin. Can help getting the sound to sparkle just a little extra. You will hear what I mean. You can hear the difference is pretty big. So let's go ahead and add an EQ. 160 is a great starting point to cut the lower frequencies. It's usually enough to stop it from interfering too much with the kick and sub. And a little extra high end with a high shelf on the EQ with a smooth slope at 6 dB and starting around 5 to 6 kHz. Now let's examine the mid frequencies. The difference is subtle, but it's there. Now let's bypass the whole EQ and hear the difference. You can hear that the EQ makes it sound more alive and less dull. It creates headroom and helps the mix to breathe. Now time for some compression. And let's dial in the extreme settings, but use a ratio around 4. By changing the mix knob, we can hear the difference in the compressor. It makes it sound a bit bigger and more tight. Now let's bring the threshold back up. I would like to add a layer on top of this, a solid that will be a nice contribution. Important is to layer two sounds that are different from each other, so they can bring each something different to the table. Let's remove the ARP. Let's play around with the release. And now both together. We don't need to use that much of the solid for it to make a big difference. Now let's process this sound as well. I want to use some OTT on this as well, but not that much as it's already pretty bright sounding. Somewhere around 10% is enough. Let's add EQ. We remove a bit more low and mid because we don't want the saw to interfere too much with the square lead. The square lead should be dominant and the saw lead supporting. Now let's see what we can find in the higher frequency. We boosted some of the high end as well to give it extra more crisp. And that's it for this part. In the next part we will work on the atmosphere. See you there.